Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Good afternoon, my Kardec Radio Spiritist friends and all friends that may tune in, I should say. Today we once again bring you another chapter reading from the book, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, as written by the Spirit Emmanuel and recorded through the mediumship of Francisco Candido Xavier. As usual, we start off with reading the New Testament quote and then read what Emmanuel has written based upon that particular New Testament passage. We then offer some comments about the chapter. Then we finish up with a little bit of a prayer and sign off. So let us get to the reading. As we indicated, today's chapter is number 96, entitled The Crown. Mark in chapter 15, verse 17, recorded this message. They dressed him in purple and wearing a crown of thorns. They dressed him in purple and weaving a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head. Then Emmanuel wrote, nowadays, the level of thoughtlessness of many disciples of the gospel who long for the crown of earthly triumphs is almost incredible. For many centuries, the churches of a defiled Christianity have taken pleasure in grand spectacles by enormous demonstrations of political power. It is crucial to realize that a large number of Christian Spiritist associations, still very new to the world, tend to follow suit. Individually, converts expect well-being, a path without obstacles, the honors of the world, everyone's respect, and the loyal acknowledgement of the lofty principles they have embraced in life by those outside the faith. But when this proves not to be the case, they feel persecuted, displeased, and unfortunate. But what about Christ? Should not the scene of the crown of thorns be enough to lessen our discouragement? Of course, the Master brought with him the crown of life, but he did not want to waste the opportunity to show that the crown of earth is still one of thorns, sufferings, and incessant toil for those who wish to scale the mountain of divine resurrection. I love that analogy. At the time the Lord inaugurated the good news, the Romans were crowning themselves with roses, but bequesting us a sublime lesson. Jesus means for us to understand that his faithful disciples should count on distinctions of a different nature. Excuse me. That finishes what Emmanuel wrote. So let's go back and take another look at what was written. And we'll start from the beginning. And the thoughtlessness of many people, as who Emmanuel writes about, they are disciples of the gospel, but unfortunately, the material crown is what they aspire to, not the one that Christ had placed on his head. Christ's message of love becomes buried under the overwhelming material snowstorm, blinding them to what is the most important, what is the most important of all, which is love of God and neighbor. Then Emmanuel refers to the churches of Christianity, who set aside Jesus' crown of thorns and instead wrap themselves in the crown of political power, where these church leaders embrace the mantle of material power and they dismiss or forget or intentionally disregard the very vivid symbol of that crown of thorns, regarding this earthly journey, which is one filled with trials and atonements that are God-given moments which we must use to learn, to love, and to serve. Emmanuel goes further and includes even some of our brothers and sisters in what he refers to as the Christian Spiritist associations that also fall prey to the material deception and hide behind the Spiritist cloak, thinking that just because they embrace and study Spiritist doctrine, that somehow their redemptive path will be smoother, when in truth, the narrow and winding road of Spiritism is even more challenging. As Christ reminded us, much is expected from those that have been given much. And the knowledge of Spiritism is a true gift from God to be absorbed into our hearts and manifested in the practice of the good each and every day. So don't, under any expiation or suffering or trial or even tribulation, throw away or become displeased or feel persecuted. Remember, as Emmanuel writes, what about Christ's crown of thorns? Does not Christ's suffering in just wearing that crown of thorns transform our minimal sufferings? Or does it not strengthen us to seek and mold the good ever more so? Emmanuel's writing paints a mental image of the required thorns of suffering and endless toil or work for the good in order to scale, as he so vividly writes, the mountain of divine resurrection. Emmanuel ends this chapter with another cautionary image. While the Romans of Christ's day crowned themselves with roses, while Christ was delivering his message of good news. Emmanuel writes that Jesus' sublime lesson of thorns is meant to convey that we should count on being set apart, because it is intended that we display and practice a character of goodness towards all, even when we undergo physical and emotional distress. This, as usual, is so well written, and is just a sort of a encouragement, as God continually gives us encouragements throughout our life, encouragements, and is his method of teaching us. Those encouragements are methods of teaching us to always be available to seek and feel the good, to visualize the good, and to mold the good as well as we possibly can, using all of our resources. We'd like to say a little prayer now. So let us close those wonderful eyes that were given to us and inhale through the nose and hold it for a while and then exhale through the mouth. Calming ourselves down. Dear Father above and Mother at all times, Lord Jesus, our wearer of the crown of thorns, Mother Mary, who gave birth to our blessed Lord Jesus, and the spirits that protect us and are with us at all times. We are always grateful for having the opportunity to deliver a message from this wonderful book. And we implore Christ and God's infinite mercy, love, and healing energy to rain down upon our family, our friends, and our neighbors, and to drench our city, our state, our country, and of course the world, all in dire need of your love, mercy, and healing. Let this healing energy be spread across those people undergoing the virus of the COVID-19. Let those workers of the light, the doctors and nurses and therapists, be also shown the shower of healing energy and light. The people that maintain those hospitals, people at home with this virus, may those families and themselves be showered. May it be spread to mental institutions that houses those people that suffer those emotional relapses and stress from life. Let it be felt among the prisons, that it be shared with the fugitives that flee from their country, seeking asylum in our country. Let the immigrants throughout the world be encouraged to continue their struggle. Let our government, our Congress and Senate and White House be blessed to continue the struggle to share the bounty that God has given to this country and the world. Let us understand that we must include all people in the blessings that are given to the few that must be shared with the many. We are always grateful for everything that we have been given, and desire to share what we have, because each day we're given that opportunity, not knowing where our path will be crossed by another that you give to us, to encourage, to say hi, and maybe to help in some other way. We are grateful again for being here, and we humbly ask for your guidance and protection throughout the rest of the day, and request permission to end the small prayer. And so be it. Today, my friends, we are going to, as usual, encourage you to take advantage of Kardec Radio and nourish your soul at any time of the day, because it's presented to you 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. The amount of shows and podcasts, live shows and recorded shows are far-reaching. We might need a couple of lifetimes to go through them all. And we are, as usual, encouraging those to take advantage when they can of these opportunities to nourish your soul. We're going to end today's little get-together with a reading. Each day at 11 o'clock, Vanessa Anzalone has been presenting the chapters and the readings from the book Laws of Love. And last night, from day 31, the presentation was ended with this wonderful recommendation. We reincarnate to give each other a hand, and blessed are those who are pure of heart. And so let us begin anew every day. Let us heal our difficulties in the family and at work and everywhere we can by avoiding reactions that are no longer positive and converting our impulses into a harvest of peace and light constantly. Let us monitor our level of reactivity, breathe, and seek the good. Let us allow the laws of love to permeate us and heal us completely. Good day, my Kardec Radio listening friends. We love you all, and take care. And may you always remember that God is always with us, no matter whether we do the good or we make a mistake. Take care.